Alright, welcome back, guys. It's game number 2 in the best of 3 semifinals for the OlimoLeague. Spawning here in the top right corner of the map, playing for Dead Pixels, it is the Red Zerg player, True.
In the bottom left is the Blue Terran. It's Salvation.
I think once again we find ourselves with a surprisingly low amount of Protoss coming here into the semifinals. Which kind of blows my mind too, because you got players like Yonghua who are just like super fantastic. We had Alicia here in the brackets today too. Like I'm surprised we actually didn't have a really heavy Protoss end of the bracket.
Did we have? Okay, yeah, we had some Protoss. Okay, so it's not a lack of Protoss, it's the lack of the ones advancing. And we still actually have to wait on Alicia and Gumiho. That's the other semifinal. That's.
Oh, is that still going on? I thought that one was already over for some reason. True going for pool first on this map, by the way, so nothing super insane, but is changing it up a little bit. No shenanigans.
Well, the gas is a little shenanigans.
Yeah, okay, so if he goes for speed behind this, here's what I like about this. On one hand, we've seen True play a lot. I want to stress a lot of macro games in the past. We've seen him play a little bit weird stuff versus Protoss, but I like that he's kind of changing it up versus Terran. And I can't help but think like Impact is going to have a bit of an influence on this, as he's the one who seems to be the mastermind behind a lot of these builds, and they are all living in the Axiom House together. So I'd really like, I would really like, and this probably isn't the case, but I would really like if this was a situation where for True, he's like, I could win today's cup, or I could improve my play stylings by practicing what I'm not comfortable with.
Could win. Or...
Could still win, yeah. Well, I mean...
I don't know. The thing about this is that, earlier speed is not really ever going to be a bad thing. It's going to control the map really well. It doesn't hit at a time where it's going to be like, the first Reaper is going to get wrecked by speed. No, but... the follow-up Hellions won't be nearly as scary, and actually there is a slight possibility if you make enough lings that you can kind of, not really all in, but take advantage of the fact that a wall is not going to be up, and the Hellions, if they don't have a lot of room to maneuver, they're actually not that effective, so you get into the natural, you kill the Hellions, and suddenly everything tumbles from there.
Gumiho did 2-1 Alicia, by the way, so it will be Gumiho versus Impact after this, guys.
That was very recent, and down with the Protoss, apparently.
Boo!
Wow.
And before, another, random, irrelevant buff brings him back into the game, what else needs speed? We haven't sped up enough Protoss units.
DTs at the same speed as a Stim Marine. Remember that?
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
Wasn't that a good idea? Yeah, that was an idea that they were going to implement, guys. Say no to... I don't know, hyped up DTs, okay? Say no to it. Like I said, so the Reaper is not going to be wrecked by speed. It might actually on its way back home. But True's not actually investing into any links whatsoever. So you gotta wonder what this faster speed was for. I mean, a pull first against on a map like Overgrowth, never a bad idea. They might 2-rax you. Pull first helps out a lot against that. Speed immediately after that, not necessary, not necessarily necessary, but also very effective against the same idea. Point is though, is that would he really lose off the back of this? Maybe some economy, but actually goes for very fast layers, so not have a lot of economy.
Yeah. We said True play with no mutas last time, but he's gonna play with very fast ones this time. This actually does remind me a little bit similar to what we saw with Impact before, but I don't know. This is a map you could bust, that's for sure, if he doesn't want to go all in. That fourth gas, it's got to come down soon though if he wants to go towards faster Spire attack.
Well, we saw Impact, go for the later fourth gas than we would normally expect, or what we would expect, but seems to be the norm nowadays, anyways. Baylands again just for precaution, in case the hell bad timing is happening, and he doesn't have overlords on the map really, so he can't check if there's a third CC. Only one off to the natural, doesn't show a whole lot. Yeah. But the Hellions are coming in now. That's what I was worried about. I was looking at that natural hatchery, and I was like, that is not a lot of defense right here. Lings do pop out just in time. In fact, more into Banelings, and he's a little afraid of that Hellbat attack I was talking about. But a Ling counterattack, very well timed. Nothing to actually hold off, and no bunker.
That, not an SCV loss so far, though, so good stacking out of Salvation so far. Can always go for that big old circle repair, too.
Yeah. Now it does bring Hellions back, but what?
Okay, he does take the 4th gas. Thank God. I was like, you can't really go mutas off 3 gases. Not to any efficiency.
Well, True might be waiting to see those Hellions run out again, but by that time, I feel like there's gonna be, as well as a couple of Marines to help out. So, oh, what were the Banelings? You made them, I guess. Use them.
I mean, yeah, it's 4 slow Banelings off of creep. I don't know. I don't know how much he can exactly use them. But
4 Banelings don't kill a supply depot, do they?
I do not believe so.
It's 5. I don't do enough Baneling all in, so no for sure. Okay, well, it's building more anyways, so with 6, I think that definitely covers it.
Yeah. Now, busting through this, the Hellions are in the middle of the map. They can come back home pretty easily. He knows this because the watchtower control, of course. So if True goes in right now, I'd be a little bit surprised. I think the ideal timing to hit for this, of course, is when you see those Hellions attacking your own 3rd, but maybe he wants to use this in defense, use the depots down, just decides to capitalize on this. Waddles the Banelings past that bunker.
Focus fire! Oh, the focus fire everywhere!
But he's not going to kill any SCVs for this is the problem. Couple
I know, because of the focus fire.
Yeah, I mean, this is a cool move, but I almost think, as weird as this is to consider, instead of wasting 1 Baneling on like 4 Marines, taking down this wall may have been more efficient. Gets rid of the bunker, gets rid of 2 of the depots at least.
Maybe.
I mean, that depot being down, I feel for Salvation was almost better for him than it was for True.
The fact that he target fired both with the actual Marines outside of the bunker and with the bunker, I believe, was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the Hellions coming back just in the nick of time also really helped out. But let's compare this game to that game on King Sejong of Impact versus Keen, where Impact did an attack like that. I think he had more Banelings though, and actually more Lings as well. And it actually just wrecked Keen's game plan. Keen didn't really have control over that game. He felt it looked like he felt uncomfortable whenever move out. Totally different situation. I feel like True just gave away a lot of what he would use to defend against the follow push from Salvation, and now it's him being kind of uncomfortable.
Well, I like this 3rd base out of Salvation. This is definitely something that's become a lot more popular. I think a lot of Terran players at this point said, you know what, screw it, that watchtower control is way worth it. I mean, more than anything else, guaranteed control on that watchtower is gonna outweigh any sort of quote-unquote safety to get from being down here.
A little bit of a supply block for Salvation. His upgrades, again, are going to be very far ahead than True, which almost happened in this game.
He's going to try and bust this again. I don't know if this is such a great idea. It really didn't accomplish much last time. I can't imagine it doing too much more this time.
It was a lot less, though. There's a lot more Banelings this time.
Yeah, that's true.
If he gets through, it is true. If he gets through... And then, he's gonna do damage.
That's my joke. I know, it's my joke. You can't take my joke, man. So he just does bust through the wall this time, so screw it. SCVs are gonna retreat out of this, and he tries to get up to the main. Nice bust on this as well.
Oh, well, the ZCs of the natural got wrecked, but maybe he can save the ones in the main, or he can just lose them all. Oh, he just lose all of them. Not yet.
Not yet, but the Lings will still get a couple more kills here. If he attacks his 3rd right now, I think this ends up being like that perfect trifecta attack. 25 SCV kills isn't that big of a deal, but the entire army is, of course, in that main, right? Choked in, trying to get out of here real quick. Trying to get to this 3rd in time. Bunker, looks like he's barely going to stand. Oh, those Banelings should have been using that bunker. Though. Oh, there we go.
Did buy enough time for the Marines to get over here, but he lost a lot of SCVs down to 32. He lost 36 in total. Now, True is on the best economy with only 3 bases, but I think that was good damage.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's mules to an extent in StarCraft 2, but I mean, down half the workers at this point is going to be really hard to keep up with, really hard to contend with. Now he's pushing in the middle of the map, but again, True's kind of circumvented around all of this. I guess you don't need Banelings if you just have an overwhelming supply. Is going to fall back. I mean, you can't really escape with these Lings. It's going to do or die. So he gets as much damage as he can. No wall at the top of the ramp means you can just run through to the main, get on top of that SV line once again. Possibly pick up some turrets, opening doors for these mutas. This is what was not burrowed. Ooh, this is getting really bad for Salvation really fast.
Yeah. Again, losing out on all LCVs that he was trying to rebuild. And when they're said and done in the main, they can just go to the third, which still does not have a bunker or a missile turret. Salvation would do well to just go ahead and pull the SCVs right now. And he doesn't.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, it's okay.
Still bleeding out a lot of workers. Meanwhile, finally goes for a small counterattack. Gets a decent drop, but
it's usually not worth it.
Yeah. I think these mutas are just going to be too impossible to deal with. Bouncing back and forth like this. If the turrets hadn't died, it's a different scenario, right? It's not that many mutas, but those links picked off the turrets very much on purpose and very well, no less.
True. True, not handling this as well as he really should or could have. He doesn't split up his units at all. Against mutas, you can split up like 10 Marines and they'll probably deal with it perfectly fine.
Wait, Salvation?
Yes. I don't know what I said.
You said true. I was like, how's he not dealing with it well? He drove that medevac right out of the main. Like, that was fine. What do you like?
No, Salvation.
Okay.
Salvation is yet to split up his army to actually take care of things that are attacking multiple bases. He's just been on one hotkey running around base to base, and she was taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a hard spot to be in, though. I mean, at this point, like I said, you can never like undervalue the tilt factor, right? True's playing so calm, he's even microing back like one muta at a time. Like, he knows he's got control of this game. He knows he's at the one in the dominant spot. His 2-2 is really late to the party, but that may not matter because, again, he's got 184 supply over the 100 of his opponent. Oh god, that's such a big supply difference. Yeah, good chunk of that's SCVs, sure, but it's the fact that, like, because of that SCV count being low, he can afford to throw all this away if he needs to.
I really like that scan. That might seem like a useless scan, but nothing hurts more than burrowed banelings at the ramp when trying to defend your bases.
Well, with the Marines up here, the mutas know, okay, this is probably open down here. There's a Widowmine. Decent shot goes off. Not enough to really kill too much, though. It is just one Widowmine after all. And the SCV count gets gutted even lower, down to 17 workers. I mean, I don't think Salvation comes back off this. GG. Alright, ties it up 1-1. True will give us game number 3.